Hello, hello, and welcome back to my Settlement Archive. Today we are visiting Vault 88, which I have complicated feelings about. I fully understand the appeal, why they Bethesda were like, let's make a DLC where you can build your own vault. That makes perfect sense, and it's fun, and the writing's actually quite funny in it, for the little bit of story content there is here. But for my immersion, I don't like being able to build a vault. I think that's look, I barely think you'd have the resources to build the settlements that you build normally in this game, let alone a vault, which would require massive resources that you can't see. At least with regular settlements, in my mind, you can justify it that, in reality the settlers are helping you build, but in this, it's like you would need a full construction team. So I've gone on a slightly different approach. As you can see here, we have a sort of jury-rigged security desk and our chief security officer walking away from me. At the entrance here, we have ramshackle turrets mounted on wooden pylons and Minutemen flags strewn up and around the area. Now, that's where we keep them. Okay. Now, when I played through the DLC, I didn't partake in any of the less ethical experiments that came at this. We have a little generator here to power all this stuff because I don't have to wire all the way through to the front of the building. Because for my character, it didn't make sense. Look, I had to jump through some hoops to justify even doing the Nuka World DLC. But I did this after that, and it really wouldn't have made sense for my character to be so willing to experiment on people at the point he was in the story. He defeated the Institute. I haven't done much with this office. I only added a... You have proper food down here. This office chair, which acts as a security terminal, which means he occasionally decides to sit here instead of actually guarding the entrance. A quick sidebar. Oh God. I also don't like the settler dialogue for the vault because it assumes that you've turned them all into vault text addicts. As I mentioned in previous episodes, I've played this entire playthrough on survival mode and used vertibirds and previously Institute teleporter to get around. So when I turned on fast travel for the sake of recording these videos, why is the fast travel point for the settlement here? That's really odd placement to me. Obviously, I could fix it with a teleport map, but hardly knows. Anyway, yes, we have a weapons workbench here, and this room is probably entirely untouched. I don't remember, but I can't see anything that seems out of place. But now heading into the vault proper, where I've deviated from what most people do, is I have not built a vault. Instead, I haven't even scrapped things. I don't like getting rid of the scrap in settlements. Shut up. So instead what I did is, throughout the vault, there are these vault tech, like parts of vault structures already placed around as if they were going to be moved by the copious heavy machinery that it obviously requires to do so. And I've treated them like solid parts of the settlement, and I have built around them. So here, I have built a bar into... They're so annoying. I have built a bar into this settlement. I have attached a Etotronic at the back. The idea is that we're using this vault as a settlement, but we're not building a vault, we're building a settlement. So up here we have some more of my piss poor living conditions, but, better living underground. Now, as I mentioned, it's frustrating that they all talk like they are born and bred Vault-Tech citizens. You definitely have food. We have another settlement shop by here, and the trading outpost for mobile settlers. I actually have had Trash Can Carla and whatnot come down here. I think this office... I put a door here. That was a nightmare to get to load. This is where Clem, the named settler, lives. There's my guard on duty again. Seemingly I only have one guard, which is a bit concerning. And this I really like. So I don't know if these were here by default, but I put them here. The idea being that they weren't quite put together properly, but I could attach them with flags. Where are you possibly going? I'm curious. And I set up junk fences. Basically, the idea is, I don't know, I've never tried to build a vault normally with this DLC, because it just doesn't appeal to me. Where on earth? We're going to see if we see her again later. She's got a trilby hat on, good to know. But the way this cave is laid out, it doesn't even seem practical to build a regular vault because you have big ramps like that. It just seems like a nightmare. Anyway, up here we have some more sleeping and scavenging areas. Although I think I've set this up wrong because the guy would be crouching by here to do his welding. Oh well. And by here we have our little infirmary run by a ghoul. And we have a little sign there to indicate that it is in fact the drugstore. Back up here we have a walkable platform where several people are living at the moment. And this is where I did all the experiments as ethically as possible. I can't remember any particular details of it. It's been quite a while. I think the other Overseer's dead body is around here somewhere. I'm honestly not sure. I don't remember how that DLC played out, but I think she wasn't happy with me because of how I handled the experiments. Anyway, moving on. Over here, this is the most recent thing I built. And unfortunately, as I think I mentioned, the settlement was unfinished. I didn't get around to building everything I wanted down here. Because my game stopped working properly. But this is, I actually really like the structure. I put an armor shop here with a mannequin, a little guard post by here, and a gun post by here. I really like that the gun post with the pragmatic and practical come with a grid to stop people from pulling a Terminator 1 and just killing the gun shop clerk with their own weaponry.
Never thought I'd be an honest-to-goodness vault dweller.
Inside, speaking of Terminator 1, this looks a lot like... that one looks a lot like the Terminator's pistol. Anyway, I put some weapons on display, and I put a little couch and TV. And up here, I made a vague effort. God, that lighting is interesting. 2 beds together. Maybe these settlers are a couple. Now, here I've seemingly done like a sort of half-roof situation. And also, I think what I've done is I've started the structure off at the height of the wood and metal settlement. And then I must have put warehouse pieces on top of that, put half warehouse pieces around the sides, and then put full warehouse pieces down here, which makes them clip into the floor, which means the 2 pieces actually play nice together and are the correct heights. As you can see, it starts to lose the plot a little bit when I tried to make these windows a bit smaller. But it's not bad by any means. It works. And we have a little slanted roof here, which I think is nice. I apologise, water cannon. Not water cannon, what's your name? Water tank. Honestly, looking at him, and especially given the giant shoulder cannons, I should have called him Blastoise. Anyway. Heading on back into the rest of the settlement. And we have this little structure here, because it's a train yard, so using the train boxcars only seemed fitting. This is somewhat decently decorated for a single survivor to live in. Settler, I should say. Heading out over this way, we have this sort of bridge building here, which I built into the structure. Another shop by here. Heading upstairs, we have 3 little apartments. This is like the very last thing I did in this. I built this, and then I think I built the gun store. Interesting. Evidently, I haven't been up here to check if my clipping is going poorly. I also forgot to put a wall there. Whoops. Anyway, cables run through there. Something over here. This is the one thing I don't particularly... Well, okay. There's obviously a lot I don't like about the Vault-Tec DLC. But again, I don't know how you would build a vault in this shape without it seeming really, really weird. Maybe I need to watch more people's Vault 88 builds. But over here is another one of the large Vault-Tec structures that I decided to work with. So we put a bar attached to the front of it. I closed off this door to create a room for the barkeep. And upstairs, I converted this area into a sort of living quarters. I have no idea why I picked this route for this section. And out the back here, I built a small structure. This fence is going to let me out. Well. And around back, you can see that how I sort of closed off the back of the building. And I put a junk wall here. Now, I was expecting to see that woman in the trilby hat at this bar, because sometimes the settlers come all the way down here. And, like, you know, even ignoring that this should be a vault, this is just really far away for the settlers. Like, this settlement's far too big. And, you know, I have 13 charisma. I honestly thought I had more, but even then, my Vault 88 only has 20 settlers. I believe it should have up to 23. I could never build a vault. Even if I built a vault as big as I could, it would still be too small for the amount of space that it's given me. In my mind, and you know, the idea of like going through all the areas and clearing out, that was nice and stuff. I did like the DLC on principle, but I feel like you could build a vault in just this room and the rest of it doesn't need to exist. Anyway. Moving on down, the other extended section of the settlement, however, this one I argue is a bit more necessary. Following down this tunnel, we come to a small farming area, which is honestly a little bit pathetic. And in here, I have no idea what particularly possessed me to put this here, but yeah, we have a little office for somebody here. Did I put that there? I did. Let's go. Oh, this leads somewhere. Am I getting irradiated if I stand here? I am, okay. A ghoul hopefully lives in this room. Hopefully. And heading on through into the lowest section of the vault, or the cave if you prefer, is my water production area. We have the fusion core generator as a thing. I put that there because I didn't want to have to do the wiring originally, but I did it anyway. Quite frankly, this isn't even a thing, is it? Is it? I don't know. See how much water? Oh, there we go. Produces 100 water. Wonderful. This is not my biggest water pump, as it happens. And some defenses, in case things attack here, I suppose. And yes, that's my Volt 88. Probably have another crack at doing the same thing next time I play. Just I'll go about it differently, because I still don't like the idea of building a vault. Unless I have a particular change of heart. It's not exactly as I would want it, but I kind of still enjoy the idea of building a shantytown out of the vault area. What I'd probably do if I did it again is just more structures like this. Build it, or more so in this main room. Build more vertically. Because I think that would look a lot more interesting than it's far too spread out as it currently exists. I also might mod out those annoying lines because they get on my bloody tip. But yes, that was Volt 88. Well, what's left of it. And thank you very much for watching. End transmission.